One of the major things that hurts a relationship is dishonesty. Some lovers have the attitude of being dishonest to each other due to one reason or the other. We live in a world where everyone is afraid of being open or vulnerable to another person, and because of this, they may feel the need to hide certain information from their loved ones. However, this act in itself can break and destroy companionship. Some people go as far as keeping important secrets from their lovers for a very long period and end up building their companionship on total lies. When their lovers find out about the secrets, it usually causes chaos in the companionship, and their lover feels bad. They feel betrayed and annoyed because their lover not only kept something important from them, but also couldn't trust them enough with something so important. The things that people hide from their lovers could be their ugly past, their vulnerabilities, and their mistakes. It is better many times to tell your lover important information about yourself instead of hiding it and hurting your lover. There are many things that your lover is entitled to know because you both are in a committed companionship. Information about your past that may affect your future is one thing that is essential, and you should tell your lover. Dishonesty ranges in many forms. Many lovers suffer dishonesty in issues of finances, and some couples can trust each other on several issues except for finances. Usually, one lover is frugal in spending, and the other one just loves to spend as they go on. Exorbitant lover many times hides away significant information about the expensive things they purchased because they don't want their lovers to find out. Over time, as couples do this, the strain always falls back on the frugal lover, who now feels the need to save more and eventually could hurt the companionship because eventually the other lover would get fed up with the situation. As they spend time with each other, the frugal lover is unable to trust their lover with any amount of money on any matter, and this puts a strain on the way they would communicate when it comes to their matter. The result of trust that occurs due to dishonesty is the bigger problem. When one lover finds out that their lover has been lying to them or hiding something from them for any reason, they find it hard to trust each other again. A lover's trust in your lover signifies that there would constantly be doubts and insecurities in the companionship. These doubts will cause problems, even when there isn't a reason to suspect your lover. When things aren't going on, one lover would be wondering if their lover is currently hiding something from them or repeating the things they once did before. Another major thing that can hurt a relationship is unforgiveness. The truth is that for any companionship to proceed smoothly, it'll have to be as enough the people involved in the companionship. This means the two people would take active and intentional efforts to make the companionship better, and one of these efforts is forgiveness. Where there is unforgiveness, the lovers are unable to walk past their past, to focus on their future. Rather, they're always stuck doing the wrong things. Unforgiveness makes lovers to be bitter and angry towards each other. While they may not know it or recognize it, unforgiveness is like a knife dissecting what's left of the companionship that you have with someone. Every companionship is usually hopeful for the future times that would be spent together. But unforgiveness makes people unable to think of their time together. They would rather be focusing on the many wrongs that their lover has done against them. It poisons their hearts and makes them infuriated with their lover over time. The truth is that for any long-term companionship to work, the two people must be very willing to forgive each other as many times as possible. So when two people decide not to let things go, they are only setting themselves up. They will keep getting themselves angry when their lover does the same wrong things to them over and over again. As unforgiveness grows between two lovers, the lovers will be unable to accept or tolerate each other anymore. The two of them will be easily getting irritated at simple faults, and the companionship would only be existing on eggshells. Communication is one of the bases of life and is part of why and how relationships are maintained. Once there are issues with communication, then there are problems in companionship. Many times as two people grow together, they have issues understanding each other. It's not that they aren't talking or communicating with each other, but rather that they aren't listening to each other when they're expressing each other. Communication only works when two people are actively listening to their expressions and taking active actions with what they've talked about. Many couples have a habit of talking, but not making any difference in their communication. This itself makes the purpose of communication useless. Sometimes it even pushes one or both of the lovers to stop talking about their concerns because they feel there would be no difference after they've talked. This puts strains on each individual and makes them not want to communicate with each other. Some people communicate, but usually always end up in misunderstandings when they're communicating with each other. The truth is that two people need to talk and understand what they are saying for communication to be effective. One person may be saying one thing and the other lover is interpreting it in a completely different manner. When this happens, it only leads to misunderstandings that both lovers about the situation of the companionship. Miscommunication could be occurring as a result of a difference in the two people's lives. Perhaps their activities have gotten tighter and more different than what they used to be before, so they don't even have the time to talk as they ought to. Whatever the cause may be, a couple that can't communicate well is a couple that cannot be together for a long time. They will continue to have issues that they cannot solve because they don't know how to properly communicate and effect changes, and eventually, this could break the companionship. The last thing that hurts and kills relationships is a lack of faithfulness in a relationship. Lack of faithfulness means a lack of commitment towards a person. When two people are committed to each other, they ought to give each other time, love, and material things. But many times people who are in companionships forget to provide each other time. They act busy and forget to prioritize their lovers and the companionship they share with them. In the busyness of their life and its activities, many times they end up not committing any time or energy towards the companionship and end up leaving the other person to make all the efforts for keeping the companionship. Doing this makes the other lover feel tired. The person begins to feel deserted and frustrated when things like these happen. If it gets worse, there may be a need for the person to end the companionship. Faithfulness towards companionship also means loyalty towards companionship. It means being able to understand that a person is the only person that can perform certain exclusive things in your life. A lack of faithfulness towards companionship can happen when a lover begins to feel like their lover isn't enough for them, and they begin to seek other means of comfort from someone else. Some people engage in emotional affairs with other people, and some go ahead to cheat on their lovers. This sort of thing changes the path of companionship. It causes a person to feel guilt and apprehension towards their lover, and eventually causes the lover pain when they eventually find out. If the secret comes out in the open, it can cause the lover to break and call things off between them. You've now seen 4 things that hurt a relationship and it to end. Take your time tending to your past companionships and check if any of these things was the cause of the breakup that you and your lover experienced. If it was, then this is your cue to work on yourself and be better in your future companionships.